Today, we're diving into creating stunning flip card animations in Flutter. A flip card animation that will transition between a front and a back card design. First, set up a new Flutter project. Open your project in your IDE. In main.dart file, begin by setting up the basic structure. Now create a new widget called Flip Card Widget, where we'll implement the animation logic. Here we're defining a stateful class called Flip Card Widget. The state class mixes in the single ticker provider state mixin. This mixin provides us with a way to create a single animation controller for our widget. First, we declare an animation controller and animation object. We have a variable named isFront that's a Boolean flag to keep track of whether the front or back card is currently facing the user. We initialize it to true, assuming the front card is shown initially. Now let's jump into the initState method. Here, we're initializing our animation controller, which we'll use to drive the flip animation. We're setting the duration of the animation to 600 milliseconds. This will control how long it takes for the card to flip from front to back and vice versa. We're also using the vsync argument to synchronize the animation with the Flutter framework's rendering ticks. Next, we're creating our animation. We're using a tween animation between 0 and 1. This animation will essentially act as a progress indicator for our flip. A value of 0 will represent the front card being fully visible, and a value of 1 will represent the back card being fully visible. We're then animating this tween using our animation controller. Our toggle card method is responsible for handling the flipping action. When the user taps on the card, this method is called. Here, we check the current state of isFront. If it's true, front card is showing, we call the forward method on our animation controller. This will start the animation and play it forward, causing the value of our animation to transition from 0 to 1, effectively flipping the card to reveal the back. On the other hand, if isFront is false, back card is showing, we call the reverse method on the animation controller. This will play the animation backward, transitioning the animation value from 1 to 0 and flipping the card back to front. After updating the animation state, we call setState to notify Flutter that our widget state has changed. This will trigger a rebuild of our widget and update the UI accordingly. In the dispose method, we properly dispose of our animation controller to avoid memory leaks. Finally, let's look at the build method. Within the body of the scaffold, we have a center widget to center our flip card animation. Inside the center widget, we have a gesture detector that listens for taps on the card. When a tap is detected, it triggers the toggle card method we discussed earlier. The gesture detector is wrapped in an animated builder widget. This widget allows us to rebuild parts of our UI based on the changes in our animation. It takes our animation as input and provides a builder function that will be called whenever the animation value changes. Inside the builder function, we have a transform widget. This widget allows us to apply transformations to its child widget based on the provided matrix. In our case, we're using a matrix 4.rotationY transformation. This matrix will rotate our child widget along the y-axis based on the value of our animation. The value of the rotation is determined by multiplying the animation value by pi, 3.14159. When the animation value is 0, there's no rotation, and the front card is fully visible. As the animation value progresses towards 1, the rotation angle increases, causing the front card to rotate away and revealing the back card. The alignment argument of the transform widget is set to alignment.center. This ensures that the rotation happens around the center of the child widget. Now, the child of the transform widget is a conditional statement. Based on the value of our animation, animation.value, we decide which card to display. If the animation value is less than 0.5, meaning we're in the first half of the animation where the front card is still dominant, we call the build front card method. This method returns a container widget that represents the front face of the card. The container is decorated with an orange color, rounded corners, and centered text that says front in a bold white font. On the other hand, if the animation value is greater than or equal to 0.5, meaning we're in the second half of the animation where the back card is taking over, we render a different container widget using a transform.scale widget. This transform.scale widget scales the child widget horizontally by a factor of -1. This flips the back card horizontally, ensuring it appears mirrored on the other side. The child of this transform.scale widget is the output of the build back card method. The build back card method is very similar to the build front card method, except it uses a blue color for the container and displays the text back on the card. By combining these components, we achieve a smooth flip animation where the front card rotates away as the back card scales and flips into view. The animation controller and the tween animation control the timing and progress of the flip, while the transform widgets handle the actual visual transformation of the cards. Let's make this flip animation even smoother by adding a curve to the animation. Curves in Flutter allow us to control the speed and easing of the animation. We're using a curved animation to apply a curves.easeInOut curve to our animation. This curve starts slowly, accelerates in the middle, and then decelerates towards the end. This creates a more natural and visually pleasing motion, mimicking how objects might flip in the real world. Incorporating this curved animation ensures that the flip starts slow, speeds up in the middle, and slows down at the end, making it more natural. If you enjoyed this video, check out other Flutter animation videos on my channel. Until next time, keep fluttering.